Get on the floor! Do it now!
The Special Constabulary is the nation's volunteer police force.
Do you know the gent?
What's your speed?
It's made up of over 20,000 members of the public
It's gone down there.
who give their time to fight crime in their communities.
Out! Get out of the car! Get out of the car!
Specials combine their day jobs
Stage, please!
and home lives
Here's a good boy.
with being serving police officers on the front line. Coming up, Alex is called to a break-in at a school.
All right, now, this is your last chance!
Saturday night. And Special Assistant Chief Officer Alex Walden is preparing for a night shift. Volunteering his time for free is something Alex has been doing for over a decade. Even when, like tonight, the temperature outside is just above freezing.
I joined the Specials 12 years ago. A lot of people complain about they never see a police officer or isn't crime awful and all the things people complain about. I'm not one to just moan. I thought, well, I can actually try and help here.
When he's not volunteering as a special, Alex is the manager of the BBC Concert Orchestra.
I manage the musicians and the logistical team that help support the orchestra on the road. So tonight, the orchestra manager's job is to make sure that the orchestra are on stage at the right time. We need to tune, and then I need to get that all in place by a specific time that the producer will give me 10 minutes before we start, and then off we go. Concerts aren't during the day, usually. They're in the evening or at the weekends. So knowing that I've got 3 late nights in a week, and then I'm thinking also that there's a special operation that needs help as well, juggling that could be really tough. If it all goes well, I won't do an awful lot. If it doesn't go well, I'll be breaking a sweat.
Today's performance is in London, but Alex's job can take him across the world, booking hotels, restaurants and flights for the entire orchestra.
I think being a special is an escape from my day job, which can sometimes have its own pressures.
OK, ladies and gents, on we go, please. Stage, please. On we go.
Sometimes when my energy might be a bit low and I've come in from work and I'm thinking, oh, I'm a bit tired, am I going to make this? The minute that first call comes on the radio, I've forgotten all about that, and suddenly I've got this, like a second wind, and off I go.
Tonight, Alex is en route to a burglary at a local school.
Thank you for got to report 3 boys who have opened the window to the college.
And that's collars.
Alex and his colleague, Special Chief Inspector Steve McCallion, are now just minutes away.
They're wearing civilian joggers. The informant is staying on the phone.
To hear a burglary in progress come over the radio, it means they're on the premises. We have actually got a chance to catch someone here. Just that thought that they're in there and we can catch them. It's one of those calls that does get it gets the juices flowing.
Please.
Alpha X-ray 3, we're nearly there.
Yeah, for 7-4, so just make sure that we're turning sirens now and lights associated.
We're now turning the sirens and lights off because we don't want to give anyone a tip-off that there's an element of stealth, I guess, that's involved. We don't want them just to scatter, so you've got to be careful there because you want to catch them.
According to the person who reported the break-in, the suspects are still inside the school.
We were certainly under the impression they were still there from what the witness had been telling us. He'd not seen them come out. The dangers are you don't just want to go jumping in through a window. It might look great, an action man, all this stuff jumping in, but you've got to weigh up that risk. You don't know who's hiding around the corner. You don't know what they've got in their hands. You don't know what things could be improvised and become weapons. It's like an animal that's trapped in the corner. You know, they could lash out at you, so you've got to be really careful.
It's pitch black. The officers have established the suspects are in the school, but reports indicate they might have a weapon. This is a job for the dog handler.
It's a school, it's big, and if they're in there somewhere and they're not coming out, we're not going to find them very.
This is a job for the dog handler.
It's a school, it's big, and if they're in there somewhere and they're not coming out, we're not going to find them very easily, but a dog will. People don't like dogs. They don't like dogs. You could be the toughest man in the world. They often don't like dogs.
The police Alsatian is trained to track the suspect's scent and chase them if they attempt to run away.
People are frightened of dogs in a way that they're not frightened of police officers, even armed with a baton ready to strike. And the dog will find you. It doesn't matter how dark it is, they'll find you.
The handler gives the suspects a final warning. Surrounded by police officers, 3 youths give themselves up.
They knew there was a dog, so they showed themselves. Those lads may not have been the brainiest lads you'd ever meet, but I don't think they were that stupid. I get the impression, even maybe with burglars sometimes, that they think, look, if I'm going to steal a telly, you get a new one on your insurance and think it's only property. What's the big deal? But to be left with that feeling of being intruded upon, those actions have really dramatic impact on all of us. And actually, it's not just about the property.
The 3 teenagers who were unarmed were taken into custody. They eventually pleaded guilty to burglary, and each received a community service order.
This was a really good example of the specials at work. We're there to support the regular police force, so we were able to arrive, we're extra resource, we were able to contain. I think we've provided at least 3 extra officers to that incident, and we joined that team and we're part of that team, and we're there to support and help.
After an exhausting week, it's nights like this which remind Alex why he gives so much of his time to the Special Constabulary.
To catch any person committing a crime is satisfying, it just is. It's hard to explain, but you make an instant difference. Burglaries are one of those, I know it was a school, sometimes it could be a dwelling, a house. It's a personal thing, and you want to catch people. And so often, you just don't quite make it in time, or they've found another exit route, or you turn up one side and they sneak out the other side. So to be able to contain the building like we did, and to catch them, well, yeah, it was really satisfying.